You see, I said His Holiness was set up. Everybody gets set up. And I was set up in 1967 by Jewish students of the University of Cape Town. I was here in your fair city on a lecture tour. And my meetings were being advertised in the newspapers. What the Bible says about Muhammad, Christ in Islam, was Christ crucified, Muhammad the natural successor to Christ, and so on. The Jewish students, they're seeing those adverts, they phoned the organizers and said, look, what about Mr. Deedat coming and speaking to us? So they asked me, I said, it's a privilege by God to go and speak to my nephews, my children. And the meeting was arranged in the Rondebosch. In Rondebosch, the Jewish students had purchased a hall. You know, from the Christians, it was some church hall. They purchased it and they had the club running there. So I went down to talk to them. And in that talk, I was speaking about the Quran and the Jew. And I was reasoning with them that the problem between the Muslim and the Jew can be solved very, very easily. I said, we have such a common denominator. In our concept of God, no difference. In our dietary laws, you say no eating of the flesh of swine, we say we won't eat it. You say you mustn't eat blood, we say we won't touch it. You say circumcision, we say we are all circumcised. What more do you want? We would say that Islam is Judaism made universal. The only real difference between us is a label. You have got a different label from me. The question is simply change the label. You want to solve the problem? Change the label. You see, I said our own Chris Barnard here in Cape Town, he did this heart ops. What is the biggest problem in a heart op? Rejection. Why the rejection? The body needs a new heart. And they put a new heart into the body. And when that is done, the body starts fighting it. You know that? The body starts fighting the heart because it's a foreign element. The cellular construction of the heart is different from that of the body. So the body starts fighting, and in trying to kill the heart, it kills itself. So they have to suppress that battle between the body and the heart. So they start drugging the patient until the body is so senseless it doesn't know who is a friend and who is a foe. Getting it used to that heart. This is the battle in blood, this heart transplant. Same thing now with you and us, the Muslim and the Jew. You are a new heart and the body can't recognize that heart. Because your cellular construction of this heart is Jew, and that of the body is Muslim. What you should do is change the label. So at question time, one young man, my nephew, a young Jew, he said, why don't you change your label? I said, look, I don't mind changing my label. If I want to change my label, I said, the Jews, they put hurdles in my way. You know, and if I overcome all those hurdles, eventually if you convert me as a Jew, I'm still a third grade Jew. But I said, what have you achieved? Suppose I change my label. In other words, I become a Jew, get converted to Judaism. What have you achieved? I said, how many are you in the world today? So somebody said, we are 12 million. Today, they are about 15 million. He said 12 million. I said, now we become 12 million and one. With me become a Jew, you become 12 million and one. But I said, you know, if you change your label, we are at that moment, we said we are 700 million. We become 700 million and one. Don't you see what a difference it makes? And I said, you are a business people. You Jews are a business people. You got the business mentality. Now, man, if you are a professional, your mentality is that of a businessman. I said, you have a product for which you have a market of 12 million. Simply by changing the label, you get 700 million people to buy. I said, you are a fool if you didn't.